Students, now we're going to learn generations of computers. How do we categorize a computer into different generations? See, generations in computer terminology is a change in the technology a computer is being used. Initially, the generation term was used to distinguish between varying hardware technologies. Nowadays, the generation includes both hardware and software, which together make up an entire computer system. So, with the change in the hardware and the software, we can categorize that into the different generation. The growth in the computer industry is determined by the development in technology. Just because technology is getting developed, we tell the computer industry is being grown. Based on the various stage of development, computer can be categorized into different generations. Here we see they have given the 5 generations. The very first generation where they used vacuum tubes, the second generation computer where they used the transistors, likewise it goes on till the 5th generation here. We will learn about all the 5 generations in detail now. It's a 5-mark question and it's very important question. Listen carefully. So they listed that as a table, all the generations. They mentioned the generation, period, main component used, merits and demerits. Learning this is enough for this 5-mark. See here. The first generation, the duration, that is the period, is from 1942 to 1955. So what is the duration of first generation? It's from 1942 to 1955. And this is picture of vacuum tube which is used in the first generation computers. You see, a single vacuum tube itself is a big one, so this is a single component which is used inside the computer. If that is going to be this much big, your computer size is going to be very big. See, the first generation computer, it has occupied an entire room. See here, big in size, that is a demerit. So the computer size was very big and it consumed more power. Just because it is consuming more power, it generated more heat, and because of overheat it started to malfunction. Malfunction in the sense it was not working properly. So these are all the demerits of using the first generation computer. And another thing, machine language was used. Machine language is nothing but zeros and ones. Only that could be understood by your computer. That we call that as binary numbers, zeros and ones, which forms your digital language. That is the machine language. The first generation computer, some of the names are listed here. You see, ENIAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC 1. So these are all the first generation computers. ENIAC weighted about 27 tons. So what was the size of this ENIAC computer? It was about 27 tons. So the size is given 8 feet is to 100 feet is to 3. That is the XY is it. So length, breadth, width. So this is the size of the ENIAC computer, and it consumed around 150 watts of power. So this is all about your first generation computer. The first generation, the duration is from 1942 to 1955. The component used in that is vacuum tubes. Okay, now let's move into the second generation. The second generation duration is from 1955 to 1964, and they started replacing the vacuum tubes with the transistor. It was bit smaller in size. The computer has become considerably reliable. Let's see what is given here. Smaller compared to the first generation. Just because the component size has been reduced, the size of the computer also got reduced. It generated less heat when compared to the first generation, and it consumed less power compared to the first generation. Here punched cards were used. For giving the input, they started using the punched cards. Punched cards in the sense, have you ever seen silk weaving? For designing, they will have some cardboard with some holes in that. So the similar one is called the punched card. Let's see that. So this is your punched card. This is how it will be. The holes in that is being punched so that it transmit data into the computer. So this is how they gave the input to the second generation computers. They used punched cards, and the first operating system was developed, that is batch processing and multi-programming operating system. So only in the second generation they started having the operating system. Operating system is a software, that is a system software which maintains the overall working of your computer, and the software, that is the operating system used in the second generation, is batch processing and multi-programming. The language used in the second generation is both machine language and assembly language. Assembly language is intermediate between the high level and the machine language. It has some English words in that, whereas it will not be that convenient as a high level programming language. It is intermediate between the machine language and the high level language, that is the assembly language. Whereas when it is getting into the computer for processing, it will be translated into machine language. Computers can understand only the zeros and ones. See, some of the second generation computers are IBM 1401, IBM 1620 and UNIVAC 1108. These are all the some of the computers which is been developed during the second generation. Now let's learn about the third generation. The duration is from, that is a period from 1964 to 1975. In this computer they started using integrated circuit. This is what we call as IC, integrated circuit. Computers were very smaller, faster and more reliable. It consumed less power and high level languages were used. Just because of this IC, so many changes have took place in our computer. See, the computer size has become very smaller, faster and more reliable. You can see that. See here, comparing to the first generation and second generation computer, the third generation computer is very small. Comparatively it is very small. That is because of the integrated circuit. And the computer which is being developed during the third generations are IBM 360 series, Honeywell 6000 series. So these are all the computer, some of the computer which is being developed during the third generation. And the next heading is fourth generation. Fourth generation duration is from 1974 to 1980, just for 5 years. Here they started using the microprocessor, very large scale integrated circuit. So that is this. Comparative to this IC, it is larger in size. So this very large scale integrated circuit, that is your processor, makes more difference in the computer working. Now we see this is the processor. Whenever we get even a mobile phone, we check for the processor, right? So that is the thing which is the backbone of your computer, based on which the processing speed and the capacity of your computer is going to be defined. Just because of this, your computer has become very smaller and faster. Microcomputer series such as IBM and Apple were developed. Portable computers were introduced. Because of this microprocessor, they started having the portable computers, and only during this generation they started having the network, internet. Everything was possible only because of this microprocessor. Only from fourth generation they started having the network connectivity, that is your internet. Next one is